Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Simrigs.com OOR Sprint Series and GT4 Cup. And I am Sean Muller. And jump back in the boxes for the evening. It's been a while. Hello to all our amazing viewers. Hope you are well. And joining me is the one and only Aiden Squires. I've probably butchered your last name, but how are you, Aiden?
No, that's all good. You got it right. Unlike a lot of other people, yeah, I'm doing okay. Looking forward to a nice night of racing, reverse grid, GT4 at Zolder. What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. It should be a nice, smooth race. No penalties. I'm sure the stewards will have a nice, quiet evening. Reverse grid as well. Nothing will go wrong. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So as we sit on the grid here, I'm not sure if this is the final grid, as we're going to see, as we've got a KTM up front, followed by a Porsche, another KTM. So obviously no qualifying tonight. They're going to jump straight into the race order, which will be a reverse grid in the championship standings. So that will ought to produce some action, as we'll have the real fast guys like Lucas Keys and Steve Ty, obviously trying to come up from the back, work their way through the grid nice and cleanly, hopefully. And we might see some dark horses able to take the lead of this race. Obviously, if you're a little bit further down the championship order, you might be able to get a start further up front, and you might be able to take the lead and run away with it. So good luck to all the drivers. Hopefully they can keep it nice and clean and entertaining for us.
Exactly. That's what we want. Entertainment costs no stops tonight, so it is 45 minutes flat out, which is going to be interesting in itself. Of course, we are at Zolder, the greatest Belgium racetrack, of course, in the Houston Zolder region in Belgium. Lovely part of the world. And a couple of little interesting facts about Zolder. Of course, I will go through throughout the race, so really keen to get that. As we all know, I love a bit of motorsport history. Of course, very famous racetrack, very classic racetrack as well, really old school. And I think that's why a lot of drivers actually really enjoy this track. Of course, it does have the death chicane, and we are taking bets on how many will die there. I'm going for 10.
I think I'll go a little bit more conservative. I reckon 6 or 7 is probably the number for tonight. In these GT4s, you don't want to hit the curbs enormously hard, although we will probably see that a few times tonight. So yeah, I'll go with 6 or 7.
Of course, GT4, it's real great selection of cars as well. We've got the Porsche Cayman, we've got the Ginetta, we've got the Mercedes, we've got the McLaren, the Aston, we've got, of course, the Crazy Crew and the Maseratis, and the Alpine as well. Lovely little race car, the Alpine is. And, of course, the KTM Expo, or Expo, or XB, or whatever you want to call it. Really interesting looking race car, that one. Of course, they do make fantastic motorcycles. Not too sure about their cars, though.
Yeah, I think their cars are more track day weapons, really. As you can probably see from the design, they're not really a traditional sedan or coupe. So, yeah, a bit of a strange car choice. You don't see too many of them, as well as the Chevy we've got towards the back of the grid, and as well as the Audi. I don't know if the Audi is racing tonight, but yeah, we'll see.
I did see an Audi on the grid. There it is. Arlene.
Yeah, I believe that's Rick
Brave man.
Lean. Yeah,
Yep.
Rick Lean in the Audi GT4. So my
Brave.
prayers go to you, sir, because as we all know, the Audi is a bit of an outlier in the car selection. As we can see, not too many of them on the grid. It's mostly Ginettas, Porsches, and the odd Aston Martin sprinkled in. So
Of course, Aiden is much nicer than I am when it comes to describing the Audi. Of course, a big hello
yeah,
does go to the one and only my sim mum and the matriarch of OOR. It's the one and only Jan Tully. I hope you are having a fantastic evening there, Jan. As the cars now roll away from the grid and they will form up. Of course, they are running in reverse championship order. So if you did have a bit of a shocker last week, like I did, I was meant to be on pole, not salty at all. You can start from pole this round. But of course, if you did win the race last week, like Mr. L Keys, aka the kid, you've got to do a last to first.
oh, I don't think it's out of the possibility for Lucas to possibly get in the top 5. I'm not sure about a win, as the race is only 45 minutes with no pit stops, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult. But at the end of the day, I mean, who knows what can happen, so I guess we'll have to just watch and see how he goes.
backyard Zolder. You can tell by its iconic windmills. To this day, I still don't know why they got windmills at a racetrack, but anyway. I wonder if it actually powers the racetrack. Might have to find that out.
Oh, it's the low countries, so they have windmills pretty much everywhere, I think, to make sure the track doesn't get flooded. So that is good for us. Obviously, no rain or flooding today.
Oh, there's a Porsche there. That is not the line through the chicane. Of course, this chicane here, I've always said that a lot of people here at Zolder think the first chicane's the most trickiest, but I disagree. I think this one here is definitely the most trickiest. It's really easy to run too deep or a little wide or catch that curb, which can spit the rear out. So you've got to be super precise with your braking markers. There is a KTM of Nate James with the white wheels. Bold choice, sir.
Yeah, another thing on this track, particularly with that chicane, like you're saying, is track limits. You've got to be careful. You can pretty easily pick up quite a few track limits cuts if you're not careful. So that's just another thing for the drivers to have to consider when they're racing here. But you can take us away, Mark.
Here we go. So it is going to be Carvel leading away from Cranich, James, Avaca, Lean and Foster. Are you 6? 45 minutes around Zolder. We're about to unleash 3 horsepower in the GT4s, and Carvel in the KTM is going to lead them away. Will he get the whole shot? That's a motorsport joke right there. And Carvel drops the hammer and unleashes the 4-cylinder, but up the inside is Cranich in the Porsche with a beautiful move. Gets that done easily, and it is going to be Paul Cranich leading the way to head down into turn 2. Really tricky braking zone in the 2. There is Rick Lean in the Audi, currently running in 5th position. Good start there from Rick. Solid position is Josh McLaughlin in the Maserati. Brave choice, this car. Oh, there's a bit of carnage here in the background. I did say it looked like a purple Ginetta that did run off.
Yeah, I believe that's Graham Hill in the purple Ginetta. Ended up spinning for some reason in the background there, but there does seem to be a bit of checking up as they come through the first sectors. As the Audi of Rick Lean goes spearing off the road, obviously hit that curb a bit wrong. Yeah, so there's Graham Hill in the back there in that purple Ginetta as they come into the second chicane here. Some cars side by side as they fairly... Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
The red Porsche has collected or made contact with the green car of Eric Scarney just coming through that second chicane. A little bit of pinballing there as they come through, and the yellows continue further down the field. So hopefully too many people haven't been involved in that.
Very interesting. We've got a couple of Maserati lovers here in the one and only Scarney and Steve Tart. Oh, look at this in the background here. This is a little bit, how are you going?
Yeah, it's turning into a car park.
Yeah. It certainly is. Says, find yourself some position on, oh, 3 wide. Why not? Let's go. Very deep on the rake there. Patrick Johnson, a little too deep.
That could have been really bad. He almost cut the whole thing and collected the cars in front of him, but he managed to just get it pulled up and stopped across the glass. So as we cross the line for lap 1, we should start to see the timings come in as we see Lucas Keys is up to P17, Steve Ty is in P4, and Josh McLaughlin in P7. So there's the highest pros as we see a KTM off the track on the right-hand side at turn 1. As they come into turn 2, there's some slower cars moving as well. So clearly the field is still really bunched up, and obviously this track is quite tight. So they're having to navigate their way past a lot of slower traffic as the faster drivers come try get through the field. As we see Patrick Johnson trying to go around the KTM, I think, had his, as the Aston looks to the inside. Please don't go 3 wide into this chicane. That is all I ask. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Alpine goes for a lunge. I think that's Dan Madden in the background. The guys have well and truly got their elbows out at this stage, I reckon. There's quite a lot of jostling for position here as we come into the second chicane side by side again. Hopefully these two cars can keep it fairly clean. Yes, they do. Oh, just contact on the exit pushes the Porsche. I think that's Dylan McDowell wide. I think McDowell was that same red Porsche that got knocked off with Eric Scarney, so he might be having a bit of a nightmare today. As Eagles Avaca is holding position in second place, trying to hold off the Maserati of Stevie Ty, who's right on the back of him as they come down this main straight.
Yeah, very interesting here from Eagle. He's going to have to get the elbows out because I got this gut feeling if Stevie Ty can get past Eagle, he'll sail up to the back of Cranich very quickly and take the lead of this race. And if Stevie Ty gets out in front and comfortable, we can call it pretty much now. But look at this back here. This is what we want to see. So we're looking at there's Gibbo here at the moment in the aptly named AMG Aston. Very good Gibbo. I do like that.
So KTM just spins off in the background right in front of Lucas Keys. I think that might be a brown pants for Lucas Keys there. Hopefully that's not 2 nights in a row where he's been involved in an incident.
Are you saying that Lucas is an emotional character? No. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Last night he also had a bit of a crash in sprints, so yeah, luckily he just managed to avoid that spinning KTM.
Back here, lovely battle here at the moment. This is good. Oh, McGlock, that is not the move you want to make right there. That is very much a one-line corner, but he did back out of it, which was very clever and saved probably a bit of a bigger accident. So really well done there from Josh. And he is currently chasing down Rondinella in the 888 Cayman as up the inside. Oh, is that Barker just sends it? But doesn't look like he got the move done, but he had a real red-hot crack there. So we've got ourselves a replay. This normally means one thing. As we've got Stevie Ties, he's going to send it right up the inside at the hairpin, gets that done, and that is a fantastic move, especially in a car with no ABS. That is a driver skill 101 right there from Stevie Tie.
Yeah, so we're starting to see some of the pro drivers obviously move through the field, as I've just noticed Patrick Johnson and Lucas Keys have moved up a few more positions as well, as there's a car spinning off to the left onto the entry of the final corner. Yeah, I think that's that same group we were just looking at of the Maserati, as the Porsches now go side by side through I think that's turn 3. Into this fast right-hander, very difficult to go side by side. I believe that's Jaden Rondinella going up the inside of Jack Miller as they head down the little back straight into the chicane.
Heading towards the chicane here down the back, or the first chicken, as we like to call it. And see how aggressive they are with the bumps, and Rondinella absolutely sent it then. That was great bit of driving. As we're heading into Bock now, I'm just going to call every corner boxed, because if you know Zolder, every corner's got a bocked in it. Again, really tricky braking zone. You're just on board here with Josh, and you just see just a little bit too deep. He lost so much speed there on entry. And he's going to have to chase that back up, but he's going to have to keep an eye on his rearview mirror because he's got the kid behind him. Here comes Lucas Keys, currently in 8th position. And that is not bad, from 23rd to 8th in what's that, 7 minutes? Yeah, no worries at all. This is what he does best. Loves just getting the elbows out and getting stuck in. Not sure about that livery though. I think that needs some work.
Yeah, that one is a bit painful on the eyeballs, I think. But he's gonna just start sticking the nose up on the outside of that Maserati coming into turn 1 now. Obviously, the Maserati's got no ABS coming in here, so he wants to keep it fairly balanced. There he goes. Lucas just gives him a little tap, gives him the little supercars bump just to let him know he's there. Pokes the nose down the inside as well. Obviously, don't discount Patrick Johnson, who's right behind Lucas as well. He's a very quick driver as well. You'll see him later tonight in Split Red, I believe, if he's racing. As they head down onto the back straight now, Lucas has got Patrick right behind him, but if I was Patrick, I would just stick behind Lucas, try to capitalize on Lucas's overtakes. Just follow Lucas through the pack as he carves his way through. And that is a Porsche going very slowly off the exit. That is Eric Scarney getting past Paul Kranich, I believe, for 2nd place as they head into the 2nd chicane. Lucas is alongside now. A little bit of contact coming into the corner, but they make it through fairly. Oh my gosh. And I think McLaughlin just completely misjudged that one and just body slammed Lucas off the track there. Might be a little invoice coming his way, although it doesn't look like Lucas lost too much time from that. He's just dropped back behind McLaughlin, who's now behind Johnson as well.
Yeah, certainly. That was that just looked really untidy. Probably 2 doesn't go into 3 or 4 there, so Hopefully they can just dust off and get back into it. But the big news is, and this is massive news, we've got a Maserati 1-2. That is huge.
I know. That is something that was not on my bingo cards, is
Oh,
these
look
two
at this, look at
trading
this.
blows
Oh,
going
come
down the
on.
straight. Come on, guys, keep the wheels straight.
I don't normally call stuff out, but this is getting ridiculous. Come on, sort it out, gentlemen.
Yeah, obviously none of the drivers wanting to really back down here, getting the elbows out, as that lets I think that is Baker in the Ginetta through in front of both of these guys. So that's good capitalization for Baker, able to just sneak by Lucas in the last few corners as a result of that contact.
There's PJ currently running in 7th position. I was actually in a lobby with him the other day. As you'll rightly point out, they're a very quick operator. Can easily just pull pro times out of nowhere, and he's got his work cut out here because this is very much Northland car park on a Saturday afternoon.
Eagles just tapped the grass. No, he's just caught the grass with his left rear on the entry to that second chicane, as they are right on each other's bumpers, basically pushing each other through the corner. Yeah, Eagles very lucky he got away with not fully taking out Kranich there. I think both of them have to thank their lucky stars as Patrick Johnson looks around the outside of Jaden Rondinella in that Porsche. He's not going to be able to get the move done this time, but I have a feeling it's probably on its way within the next few laps. Obviously, like you said, Patrick is no slouch behind the wheels, so he'll find something to get through. As Lucas Keys sends it up the inside into the final corner of Baker, I think Baker probably didn't fight that one too much. He knows that there's no point trying to block Lucas in this sort of battle. It's a losing battle, as Jaden Rondinella goes very narrow to try cover off Patrick Johnson. Patrick is going to look for the undercut, but can't quite get it. He's going to poke his nose coming into the turn 2, and yeah, he puts the car on the inside. Nicely done. No contact. But that Porsche's got really good traction, so we'll see if he's able to hold it around the outside as Lucas Keys sneaks his way past McLaughlin as well. Well done to all those drivers for keeping it fairly contact-free there. They're all very close as the Ginetta gives the Maserati a little move along. It gives them a little bump draft. This is not NASCAR, guys. I don't really think that's what you're supposed to be doing, but anyway.
Oh, look, that was a great drive there from Lucas out of the chicane. He got a beautiful run here on Loopty. Is he going to try and set up the inside of Villeneuve? Thinks better of it. Just pulls it back there. I thought he was going to have a crack then, but he's just playing a little bit smart here. Is Patrick Johnson now is working on the back here of Igor, and these sort of 3 or 4 having a ripping battle here. It's allowing Kranich just to sneak away a little bit, but the big news is Stevie. Oh, that's a big hit.
Jaden Rondinella's just tapped the back of Igor.
Really easy to do that.
Yeah. Luckily, no proper damage from that. Just a little tap. I think he's maybe lost 1 or 2 positions, but could have been worse. Obviously, he could have gone around as Igor slows right up on the apex. Oh, he's gonna, very close between him and McLaughlin, just giving each other little love taps there. Obviously, as you said, this group is battling very hard as as Stevie Tyres left the building. He's already 12.5 seconds up the road, so we'll see if Lucas can get through to him.
Oh, what was that? Oh, no. Dear, oh dear.
They're pinballing off each other.
Wow.
Oh, my. Yeah.
What is going on here? It's GT4 racing, not Demolition Derby to Saturday night at Warwick Farm. Come on.
Get yourselves together, gentlemen. There was a car that was fired off to the right. I think it was a Ginetta. So unfortunately, we have lost one of the cars in this battle. Obviously, all very close still. We're 13 minutes in, and the packs are slowly starting to thin out. But obviously, the racing is still very, very close.
I think that's the thing with the GT4s. They do lull you into a bit of sense of, hey, we can get the elbows out with these things. They don't get as damaged, or they don't, when they're damaged, it's not as affected as the GT3, but you still got to be pretty gentle with them. You can't drive them like a supercar, for example, and just fire them up the inside and get the elbows out. So still got to be careful. You still got to have a bit of racecraft and a bit of smarts about it. And this battle here, though, this is the one I'm really looking forward to watching. Johnson versus Keys. This one will go the whole distance, and what they really need to do is get their heads together. Who's looking here? Look at that come across. That is big drama.
Yeah, I think just losing the car, and that was Baker who was running quite high up in that little battle group of P sort of 7, 8, 9, and 10. As Lucas Keys looks up the inside of Patrick Johnson, you might
Beautiful
have
lift.
cursed him, Mole. You said
Yep.
this battle minutes ago it was
I
might go on,
know.
but clearly Lucas has found a way past. So now they'll start after Eric Scarney, but I'm gonna be pretty interested to see if whether they can catch Steve Ty, because he's out in clean air. He's been lapping pretty quick for the last few laps, and he's just kind of starting to build that gap. So we'll have to see if Lucas and Patrick can clear Eric Scarney and get after Stevie and see if they can close that gap as well.
Well, I'm going to call it now without putting the Mozza on him, but Stevie Ty's got this. It's over.
Yeah, as we see Paul Cranich and Jaden Rondinella side by side into the chicane. That's a bit risky,
lovely.
but they've managed to pull it off. But that compromise run from Jaden has left him vulnerable to Josh McLaughlin, who's now going to sneak up the inside. And Igor behind is also very close. So, oh my gosh, that's a lot of cars. That's a purple car going down the inside as well. That's a Janetta of Graham Hill, I believe. So all these cars, you know, if you look at the timing tower, there's, you know, from P6 to 14 basically is within about 3 seconds of each other all here. So very, very close racing.
That was smart there from Kranich. Really clever. He just opened the wheel a little bit just to avoid a bit of contact there. That was really good heads-up racing. Sometimes you just got to have your wits about you. Yes, you don't want to lose the position, but you've also got to think long-term.
Yeah, exactly. Just got to keep yourself alive, I think, is the main thing we're seeing in this race. Just don't get pushed off the track, or just try to keep it on and the wheel straight. As we see cars going side by side in the background as well. Yeah, so there's a big group of about, I think it's, 9 or 10 cars all here going into turn 1 at the same time. This is
Bit of replay action.
Lucas Keys on Eric Scarney, yeah. I'm guessing Lucas is just going to drive around him like he does.
Yep, around the outside, no dramas, easy as I like.
Yeah, it's just like a Sunday drive for him.
30 minutes, 29 minutes left. The gap is 16 seconds. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Will Lucas catch Stevie Ty?
Yeah, and another thing I'm starting to notice is these penalties. There has been quite a few dished out, and I think the steward team is probably working overtime to get them all out. So we will probably see a few more penalties on the way as the red Aston Martin of, I believe that is Callum Gibbons, tries to look up the inside of Tim Goebers. Oh no, and Gobby's collected him on the exit. Hopefully they can keep it straight. Oh, Graham Hill's been fired off to the right. Oh no.
Dear.
And we're going 3 wide now into a section that is definitely not 3 wide. Oh, they just keep it together, but yeah, unfortunate. 3 cars into one space just does not work, especially on a track like this. So unfortunate for Graham Hill, but as we'll get a replay of that now, I believe. So
see where Gibbo is right here. That is such a tricky spot to be. And then, yeah, once the genetic gets a tap in the rear, it spins around it because there's absolutely no weight in the thing.
Yeah, and again, Graham Hill just kind of collected in the incident. Oh, yeah, running side by side as well. So yeah, I have a feeling we might see a few more penalties. Oh my gosh, as Igor gets a massive slide on the exit of turn 1.
Nah, he's fine. He's an old karting boy.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll keep it together.
Here we are, Rondinella and McLaughlin going at it here. Pretty solid race from Luke. He's done well in the Porsche. We kind of did sort of rip into him saying it was a very uninspired choice. But he's got his head around it, which is good to see. And he has got past McLaughlin, and he has got the eyes on here, Lukey. So up in the 6th, nice drive. Just want to give a little shout out as well to Jack Miller there in 5th position, driving very nicely. Really hasn't been called a lot, which is great to see, and good to see Jack Miller doing well. In the wrong car, should be in a KTM. That is a MotoGP joke for people that don't know. And doing very well. He's Eric Scarney, loves this car. Absolutely cannot talk enough good things about it. He is a big-time Maserati lover. Also is a Lexus lover, so that gives you a little bit of insight into Scani and how he rolls. Doing very well there in 4th position, but is carrying a 10-second invoice at the moment. And we will ignore, everyone just ignore Saxon in chat. He doesn't know what he's talking about, clearly delusional. As Gibbo there currently running in 10th in the AMG Aston. And this pack of cars, there is a lot of quick operators and hard noses in here as well. As Gibbo is going to try and fire it up the inside of Igor at turn 1 and gets that done. Beautiful move. And moves now up into 9th position. And we've got 26 minutes remaining in the OOR GT4 Cup, round 2 from Zolder.
Yeah, I think some of these cars as well, as you can see visibly, running with a bit of damage. So that Porsche of J Miller in P5 and this car of Callum Gibbons all got some decent scratches down the side. But like you said, these cars are not as aero dependent as the GT3s, so they can take a bit of a beating. But obviously, the idea is to not do that in the first place.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is the optimum strategy. There you go. There is Carla. Try to really have a go there, Gibbo. He definitely opened up the eyes there, but just thought better of it. He's going to sit behind Cranch. He's got Marshall behind him as well. And Igor's still hanging on there, currently in 11th. Can he sneak into the top 10, which would be a great result, considering the amount of times that he has been involved in something. Still to finish in the 10 is a great drive. So it is still Stevie Ty. The gap's down to 13 seconds to Lucas. I think Stevie Ty's got this one. And we've got Patrick Johnson there in 3rd, Scani in 4th, Miller, Rondinella, McLaughlin, Kranich, Gibbo, Marshall and Igor just outside the 10 at the moment. And we'll just cover off a couple of little housekeeping items. We've got Scani with the 10-second penalty, Tanner, Beithold and Hill currently carrying invoices as well. Oh, that's really tight there from Gibbo. There's not a lot of room there. It's a really tough spot to make a pass there at turn 1. You can set yourself up for turn 2. There is a slight touchdown credit, and around the outside. Is that Marshall? Yep, no problem.
Lucas Marshall. I was just going to mention before, Lucas Marshall, if you remember back to last week, was actually fighting with, was the closest car to Lucas Keys. So he's actually pretty quick in that Ginetta when he can get the lap times down. So obviously he's had a little bit more issue coming through the field compared to Lucas and Patrick, as Igor and the other, I think that's Tanner, maybe going side by side into the chicane, as Igor has gotten past and is now behind Paul Kranich, as there is a car yellow flagged 213 that's still in doubt. But this group makes their way through the second chicane with Callum Gibbons right behind this KTM, which I believe is blue flagged. So hopefully he moves out the way. Yes, he does, as we ride on board with Paul Kranich. Oh, there's going to be a little bit of a tap, and it's checking up behind. Igor going for the move as well, with Tim Goa right behind as well. So still side by side coming through this section, as we've got cars side by side in the background as well. So Paul Kranich is now going to be under threat from, I believe that is Jay Tanner in the 420 red Porsche. Yes, it is. Oh, there's cars off in the background. Someone has spun. Yeah, there's been an incident at the final corner.
So there is a lot of sort of just little micro errors that are sort of leading into major errors here. And it's one of those races, by the looks of it, if you just drive smooth, keep your powder dry, you're on for a good result. And here is Lucas Marshall at the moment, the second of our Lucases, currently running in 8th position, or 7th now. Oh, love the name of the car, by the way, Gin and Tonic, very classy operator. Looking here at, oh, that's a big butt. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's easy to do.
Very aggressive line through the chicane, and yeah, there seems to be about 3 cars caught up in that incident in the background at the final corner. But Igor is still going. He's now inherited P10. Callum Gibbons picking up another, I don't know if that's, he's just gotten a 15 or if that's an additional 5 on top of the 10 that he had before. So the penalties starting to come in now. I assume we're going to see more from what we just saw at that final corner.
Yeah, I think we'll start to see some red boxes light up here. I think the stewards have just got ourselves a replay. Oh, it's a McLaren. There is one out there. Oh, and it's
Just can't
not
slow
good.
down. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit of contact. Those McLaren brakes are pretty average, I must say. So
Oh,
this is, I think, what's going to happen into the final corner. You got
they
an
have
Aston.
brakes.
Yeah, you got an Aston going for a move. Oh, that is
Oh, wow.
way
Oh,
too deep.
that's sandy. That's a bit
Yeah.
sandy.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that Aston actually was. I think that might have been Atanayake, considering where it was.
Yeah, was it? Looks like it was at an ARK, so a bit unfortunate. This is a good battle to watch. Goab versus Igor. Now, these two are not too bad mates as well. I've been in a few team speaks with them, and they're two lovely gentlemen to chat to. So, looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Igor, one of the nicest gentlemen to talk to, and of course, Tim's a bit of a loose unit. That's why I get along with him. He's a good lad. Oh, he had a bit of a look there at the chicane, but thinks better of it. He's actually lost a lot of time there as well. It's so easy to do.
Yeah, obviously in equal machinery, these two Janettas, so it will come down to driver skill, hopefully, as we get a replay on board with Josh McLaughlin, I believe that is, and that is a red Aston Martin, so that is Callum Gibbons. Oh, he's locked the brakes. Yep, there's that no ABS for you. Going into the final corner, just a big lock up in that final sort of 5 to 10 meters of the corner, and it will just send you going straight on. So, yeah, as we've got Gobby behind the fellow Janetta as we go on board with Graham Hill with the flappy bonnet. Graham's car has picked up quite a bit of damage over this race, so I would believe that it is probably not running optimally, as he's right on the back of Paul Cranich here. Obviously, he still has that 10-second penalty to serve at the end of the race. Now, I'm not sure if it will be 10 seconds at the end of the race. Yes, it will be, because there's no pit stops. So, seeing the Porsche of Tanner as well, trying to capitalize on this battle between Goab and Igor, as Goab's just
nice.
Stuck. Yeah.
I was watched that from Tanner. I was like, I know exactly what he's doing here. It is the classic Zolder move. You brake a little bit earlier at turn 2 and 3, and you just try and maximize that exit. And if you get it side by side, you can fire it up the inside at the really quick right-hander. As they're going to go into the chicane side by side. That never works. Oh, they pulled that off somehow. Wow, that's heart-in-the-mouth stuff right there.
The gap between those two cars on the apex would have been a B's expletive, I reckon, between those two cars. That was absolutely nothing in it. I thought they were definitely gonna. I thought Gobby was definitely gonna pit maneuver Igor, but they've kept it together somehow. So well done to both of them.
Good heads up. They're putting on a show here. Is what we like to see. And just double check on the gap. It is down to 9 seconds with 18 minutes to go. We do have some. So Glenn has jumped in and said keys to catch and pass tie with 10 minutes to go. Oh, okay. We'll keep an eye on that. I reckon he might be onto something there. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, obviously as well, overtaking a car is another thing than just catching them. So that's another thing Keys will have to do. But it is Lucas, as we've said, obviously extremely fast driver, so it would certainly not be out of his skill set. As the Porsche of Tanner looks up the inside of Gobby, nothing comes of it, but obviously he's just trying to put Goab out of position. Obviously Goab having to attack and defend at the same time, trying to attack against Igor, but also defend against the Porsche, who is right behind him.
Good run here. He's got a good run here. Oh, he's got a good run.
Yeah, I think he's going to try line up another chicane pass like he tried last lap. If he's able to stay in the tow here and get a draft coming into the chicane, he might look for something up the inside. As he's looking. He switches back to the outside.
Super aggressive.
Oh, very close. A little bit of a touch between the twos. They make it through nice and cleanly. They are also on the back of Josh McLaughlin, it should be mentioned. So that is also probably going to come into contention soon, as Gobby just manages it to keep it right on Igor's bumper there.
This is a great battle. Definitely the battle of the race so far. And these two will be absolutely laughing at each other in their team chat as well, I guarantee you. And just in the background now, I see a purple Graham Hill flying up to these cars. So watch Graham. He is a very quick operator as well, so he'll have no problem sailing up here and having a crack. And just a couple of cars now just starting to sort themselves out. This is a great battle. Good little battle pack, this one. We've got a good mixture of different paces, different manufacturers. And this is why GT4 racing and GT3 racing is the best form of racing in the world.
I've just noticed Scani's in the pits right now. I don't think that
Oh,
was
yes.
I don't think that was on the list of what I expected to see.
And we've got Foster in the pits as well in the 604.
Yeah, not sure about that one, but Igor unfortunately losing the position to Gobby, and that's going to now leave him vulnerable to the Porsche of Tanner and Graham Hill as well. Graham Hill is driving that thing, yeah, driving that thing to its full potential, obviously, with all the damage he's incurred so far. Obviously, that is not holding him back too much. He's still carving his way through the field. As a Porsche pulls out in the background, just looking for a move, doesn't quite go for it, as Igor gets a bit of a bad run over that second curb. So Hill is now going to try look for a move into this second chicane. Quite difficult to do, but you are able to pull it off if you're already alongside. But Hill not being alongside, he opts to just stay behind and wait for another move, possibly at the hairpin coming up just over this hill.
I'm a big Graham Hill fan, have been for a long time. Just love the way he goes about it. Just
Which
a very...
one, the F1 driver or this one?
No, this one. Oh, the F1 driver, he's overrated.
Yeah, all right, okay.
But Igor's doing a great job and he's probably got the straightest car out there, to be perfectly honest. There's not a lot of sort of damage on that yellow and blue Ginetta. But look at Graham, he gets a nice run now. I reckon he might have a bit of a sniff at turn 2. I reckon if he sets up turn 1 nicely, he'll have a crack at turn 2 if he can get it right. That's it, breaks it early, gets a nice exit. Beautiful exit now. Igor places it on the inside. Graham's going to have to go around the outside here. Is he going to try the over and under? No, he's going to try and go around the outside. Graham Hill, you absolute maniac. Oh, but Igor's got to fight back. He's done it. Graham Hill, what a move. Stunning.
Porsche and the Ginetta just having a little tap in the background, as that now allows the other cars in this battle to get a run on the ones who were slow off those corners from that battling. But yeah, nicely done by Graham Hill going around the outside, just keeping the momentum even with that really damaged car. As there's a KTM off, I believe he is yielding to blue flag traffic, as we don't have any KTMs this far up the grid.
See, that's the KTM in its natural habitat.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the highest KTM is in P24, so not looking good for the KTM factory boys. I think they got to go back to the shop and give them some upgrades,
or just get a proper KTM, which is a 252 straight.
Yeah, not sure if I'd want to be riding a bike, considering the amount of contact I've seen in this race so far.
Look, you say that, but imagine the chicane on a bike. You could just send it, right? It'd be incredible. Especially a dirt bike, just launch the thing.
I think I'd be a little bit worried considering all the bumping that's been going on this race. But yeah, it's really cut to a nice front straight with the photographer on the left. I don't know if he has a community given name, but yeah, as he looks to snap some photos of the cars as they pass down the main straight, as we go back on board with John Tanner into turn 2 and 3. Behind Igor now, I suspect he's going to try and get past Igor as well, because he has kind of been sitting behind Igor and Gobby for a while now. He's just kind of been sitting back here lurking. As he gets a bit of a bad run, that might now allow the Ginetta of Baker, who's had a completely up and down race. I mean, he's been involved in incidents and doing good moves, and it's just like 1 second I see him a bit down the order, and the next time I see him he's back up fighting for could be in the battle for top 10 soon, as Tanner loses the position there and might lose the position to this other yellow Porsche. I believe that's Ben Oliver, maybe? Yeah, I think it is, as Oliver manages to squeeze his way past into the second chicane, so it's a really good move it's kind of hard to discern the cars when they've all got the same liveries on, like
Yeah.
both these red Porsches. It's, it's quite difficult to tell who exactly you're looking at.
We're on board here with Stefan Bashop, very much a Porsche enjoyer. Oh, as
no!
the 420 goes around.
Don't stop there! Oh my gosh! Oh, he tries to
boy.
move off the track. Oh man!
That
Jeez,
could
we
have
got
been
3
a lot
red cars
worse.
off. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, Bagtold just getting collected in another person's spin and kind of just, I don't know if it was Bagtold or Tanner just stopping in the middle of the road.
So, Kid Watch, Stevie Ty is currently 3.8 seconds now in front with 11 minutes to go. It's starting to warm up the front.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see some Checo Perez-like defending from Steve Ty if he wants to hold on to this one. Lucas and Patrick flying up behind him. I'm not exactly sure what Patrick's gap is. It's the timing tower does its thing and just doesn't tell us what it is, but we're seeing a replay of that spin now.
See the teammates here. So, yeah, the 420 just went around. Stefan just had nowhere to go. Unfortunately, I think that was Gibbo just scraped through there.
Yeah, Gibbo or Taniake.
No, that was the Taniake. My mistake.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
right. Oh, no!
He's given McLaughlin the hip and shoulder going into the second chicane. Again, just some contact on the way in, side to side, door to door, and yeah, McLaughlin just gets fired off the track. That's going to lose him a lot of positions, and I dare say that Hill is going to get a penalty for that one.
Oh, yeah,
maybe not. Yeah,
that's
it's kind of
interesting,
hard to
one.
see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from the angle we'll get. We'll leave it to the stewards, obviously. But yeah, I mean, Hill doesn't want to rack up too many penalties. He's already plus 10, so that'll drop him down a fair way as we see just the red line of penalties from 16 to 19. You've got 15, 10, 10, 10 again. So the stewards dishing out the justice. So justice has been served as McLaughlin as well as a 20-second pen. So that's a long way to be dropping, especially after that incident too. So
it's definitely an Oprah Winfrey race. Everyone's seeing it's you get a pen and everyone gets a pen at the moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully people can sort themselves out. As Igor, poor bugger, is still running around in 11th. He just can't get into that 10. Actually, no, he might. He will with penalties. Eagle's in the 10.
If he can hold off Oliver, who is attacking him right now, as we see the Chevy has taken control of the board, and which is now flying down the main straight. Oh yeah, Igor and Oliver battling now side by side. I don't. No! Igor's got the bounce. You cursed him again, man. You're on fire today with these curses.
Come on, Igor. Hold on. Go.
You've returned back to the box with a vengeance.
I know. I've been fired up. It's been a while. Here is Stevie Ty. He's got Luke. You see in the background there. That is a very angry Aston Martin on the way.
No Patrick Johnson in the background either, so clearly Lucas has got a pretty big gap to Patrick. So it does look like it's going to be between Steve Ty and Lucas Keys. Patrick looks to be too far back to really influence this battle, as Jack Miller tries to hold off Lucas Marshall, who again came second last week in the first race. I can't remember where he came in the second one, so clearly he's a pretty fast operator, as Jack Miller in the Porsche just goes wide and allows Marshall to just slip by on that inside line. Obviously these first sort of 3-4 corners, there's a lot of different lines you can take, and you can kind of change them as you're going to suit what you're trying to do. Like you said before, if you're trying to go for an undercut, you brake a little bit early, get on the power later, or if you're trying to defend, you might brake a little bit later and have a slower speed, but you maintain the position. So yeah, good battling by the guys so far in that group, as we go back on board with Josh McLaughlin, who has Matt Madden, I think it is, behind him.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's Matt Madden in the Alpine. Lovely little car, the Alpine.
Gets the drift on through that corner.
It does. You can do that in the Alpine so easily. You can just absolutely chuck it around. Great fun little car to drive. The other reason I chose the McLaren over the Alpine literally was I just felt the McLaren just had a little bit more poke, which was sort of something I was concerned about. But around a track like this or real tight circuit, like Zandvoort, where we are heading off to next. The Alpine's brilliant. It's just so much fun. As McLaughlin now is really going. Now, look at this for a size difference. You got the Maserati that literally is a boat, and then you got the little Alpine, which is borderline a go-kart.
Yeah, I'm surprised McLaughlin doesn't have a foghorn on that thing. It's so huge compared to the other cars. But Stevie Ty is getting held up by blue flag traffic here by that BMW. Ooh, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's on now. Lucas has been able to capitalize massively from that, and I guarantee you he's going to start looking for moves now. He's going to look to the outside as Stevie Ty defends the inside, but
no.
Surely.
Oh, Lucas.
My gosh.
Oh, you
Lucas.
are taking the PI 55.
Yeah, we need some success ballast right now. Give him plus 40. If you're able to do that, then yeah, I mean, this guy's just out of this world, I guess. But there's Lucas, and see you later. So that's the win sorted. With 5 minutes to go, Lucas has gained that. I think, what was it, 15 seconds in about 30 minutes. So I mean, just insane pace by Lucas.
That is
make up that time.
Last to first challenge completed. Unbelievable driving.
Stevie Ty just having a bit of issue getting that thing stopped without the ABS, and obviously the Aston is pretty good on traction, I think, both the GT3 and 4 cars. So Lucas is just able to hang it around the outside and use that drive to get out the corner. The Alpine is right 58.
Just having a look there. Can't see there. Just saw a yellow flag. I think that was the 58.
Yeah, I did spot the yellow flag myself, but the boat is holding back the Alpine for now. Obviously, the Alpine doesn't really have quite enough top end to be able to challenge. As Jaden Rondinella is trying to hold on to his 4th place against a fast-charging Lucas Marshall in that Ginetta. Obviously, like we've said many times, not a slow driver. Both light, small maneuverable cars here, both kind of lacking on the straight. So this will probably be a duel in the tighter, more difficult corners, as Lucas has just shown the outside. He's going to try to just, Lupti just takes a bit of a interesting line through that corner, blocks and moves back over, but he's left the door open now. Lucas might send it on the brakes, so thinks twice about it. Let's let it jump in front.
One thing I know, being a Porsche enjoyer, you are never outbraking a Porsche.
Oh, the Ginetta can give it a challenge, definitely, but yeah, as a general rule, yeah, that's fairly true.
Porsche brakes are best brakes.
Oh, that's
wow. Yep.
Well, the Porsche brakes,
on fire.
Yeah, the Porsche brakes really not helping Jack Miller there, as Callum Gibbons is now going to have a look up the inside. But the one thing to remember with all these positions is Miller doesn't have a penalty, so he really doesn't need to fight this. I mean, with the penalties that are kind of littered throughout the grid, as we see, some of Graham Hill's obviously gotten another penalty for his incident before. It's up to 20 seconds now. Same, Josh McLaughlin's had 20 seconds for a bit, I think. But yeah, obviously the penalties coming thick and fast as Lucas Marshall looks down the inside, which then turns to the outside of this final corner at Zolder. They're going to probably be running side by side up to turn 1. We'll see if they can maintain their positions. Yep, they can. Nice and side by side here into turn 1. Lucas Marshall going very narrow, just claiming that inside of the corner. Yeah. Though Lupti might be able to get a better run off.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to fire back here.
Yeah, he's going to send it back up the inside, but not able to do anything about that Ginetta, just sweeping around the outside, able to carry so much speed through those more technical, twisty corners. We'll see if he can mount a challenge. Yeah, go on.
Just a quick question here in chat. The Alpine has a 4-cylinder 1.8 litre turbo engine, producing around 350 to 400 horsepower, depending on the BOP.
Yeah, right, as Lupti drives it deep into
wow.
Yeah, those Porsche brakes not helping him again.
Ever since I said Porsche brakes, best brakes, I've seen 3 Porsches completely miss their braking marker. What are they doing in there?
Like I said, you're on fire tonight. For the driver's sake, they should have prevented you from getting back in the box.
Yeah. So it is Lucas Keys leading the way from Stevie Ty, Patrick Johnson there in 3rd, Lucas Marshall in 4th, Rondinella there in 5th, and we're currently looking on screen at the moment. Then Gibbo there in 6th, Jack Miller in 7th, Gobby in 8th, and then Barker and Hill are your tennis. We are on board with HL here. This is very willing racing here. They're going to go into the chicane, side by side. A slight touch. The Alpine, though, hangs it around the outside. Great driving
Well done to
from
all those
both drivers there.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see.
Lupti's got a 15-second penalty as well. I'm not sure if I remember exactly what that was for. So that's another penalty up the order, which will drop him quite a fair way down as he runs wide trying to defend against Callum Gibbons. Lupti just unfortunately losing a few positions in the dying laps of this race. We've only got 1 minute left, so I would assume it's only 1 to 2 laps after this one we'll have left. But yeah, unfortunately just dropping down the order slightly is, oh no, there's obviously been something going on here with Baketold and the Alpine and Josh McLaughlin, so we'll have to catch a replay of that. Hopefully Josh McLaughlin has not gotten himself another penalty, because he will be miles back if he's got himself another one, as the Alpine comes from a long way back. Oh, just gives him a kiss into that corner, unfortunate, and that's left Baketold out to dry. Unfortunately, he's been unfortunately collected by that one and dropped a few positions.
So I did see another question there in chat about dirty air and GT3 and GT4. GT3s, definitely, you do get a bit of dirty air and a bit of air wash on the front, as Igor just runs a little wide there. But in the GT4s, definitely not as much. You can really, we've been watching all race, you can really go side by side with them, and yeah, not a lot of air rush in the GT4s, and I think that's what makes them so enjoyable to race. Like, maybe not so much fun the hot lap, but to race, they're great fun.
You're seeing obviously the gaps are still fairly close throughout the grid. It's not too far spread out, whereas GT3s is pretty, once you kind of get after the first 10 to 15 minutes, everything starts to spread out a lot. But obviously, as we can see, lots of close racing still, as the penalties are still coming. So Tanner's up till 25. Yeah, Baketold's now got a 10 seconds. So yeah, I mean, penalties are definitely going to make a big difference here, as Jaden Rondinella is under attack from Jack Miller in the, I'm not sure if this is the last lap for these guys or if they've got one more after this, but Miller's going to try everything he can to get past. There's a blue flag KTM in front of them. Hopefully, yeah, this seems to be moving out the way. Cut to
the flag comes out and Lucas won the race.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems Patrick Johnson could not catch Stevie Tyres. Now the
Come on, Jack. Do it for the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, is looking up the inside of Rondinella. I think he's a bit too far back to go for this move. Yeah, he decides better of it. Don't want to launch something in the last lap and give yourself a silly penalty. Obviously, Miller does not have a penalty, so he doesn't actually have to overtake Rondinella to get this position. He's also going to inherit the position from Callum Gibbons in the front as well, who also has a penalty. There's some more cars are crossing the line now. I think Miller is just going to hang back on this one. He knows he doesn't have to actually get past this. Graham Hill has got a drive through. I'm not sure if that is penalty wise or if that is track limits. I would assume track limits because it is a drive through, but I'm not 100% sure. So that is going to drop him way down the grid.
Look at this.
Yes, we're still going nose to tail through the chicanes. As that Porsche tries to get past that little Alpine, just can't find a way through. I don't think the Alpine is quite the best on the straights, but that Porsche is looking a lot, very sad. It's got a lot of damage, and so does this Alpine. So I think both these cars just trying to get to the end. See if he can, oh, he might have a run on him into the final corner. He does. That Alpine just suffering down the straight. It's got no top end whatsoever. Porsche's going to take the inside, and yeah, it's going to be a final lap overtake for Porsche Baketold.
I thought the Alpine was going to come back there. It looked like it.
Yeah, but it won't matter anyway because they've all got penalties.
Right. There's penalties everywhere. So, but it is Lucas Keys, the kid, takes the win from Stevie Ty. Of course, that was a last to first challenge completed from the one and only Lucas Keys. And really, as we go over our race results once the session ticks over. So it is Lucas Keys from Stevie Ty, Patrick Johnson, Marshall Miller, Gibbo, yes, top 5 and 6 over at a silver class. It is Gubby from Baker and Rondinella. Then over in Pro-Am, it is my man Jack Miller from Cranich and Adenake. And then over in Am class, it is Starks from Scarney. But that is the OOR GT4 Cup run and done. And a big thank you to Simrigs.com for all your sim racing needs. Go see the great guys at simrigs.com. And if you are an OOR patron, you will get yourself a cheeky little 5% discount. Well, Aidan, how do we want to describe that race?
I mean, I would use the word bloodbath, but maybe that's going a bit too far. A lot of hip and shoulder being shown in that race, quite elbows out, but it was still a very entertaining race. I'm not going to say that I was falling asleep during that one. There was a lot of close battles, and we had lots of battle packs together. So, if I had to pick a driver of the day, I want to go with Lucas, but at the same time, it is Lucas. I mean, it's kind of to be expected that he is just absolutely insane. So I think I will go with Lucas at the end of the day, or maybe Miller for finishing really high up in the Pro-Am standings.
Yeah, Jack Miller, definitely my driver of the day. To finish, in that top sort of 5-6 as a Pro-Am, yeah, fantastic drive with no penalties as well. So well done to Mr. MotoGP. Really great drive, and he drives a Porsche as well, so he obviously is a man of class and taste. But please stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because coming up, of course, is the one and only Split Red. And we always look forward to Split Red. It is a bit of the hero split here at OOR, so grab your favourite snack and your favourite drink and get comfy and take yourselves for a quick little break, and we will be back.
Yeah, you will see me racing. So yeah, good luck to myself, I guess, and thanks for everyone for the GT4 race. It was enjoyable to commentate. So we'll see you guys in a sec.
Let's do it, boys. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to our fourth and final sprint split for the OOR Simrigs Sprint Series for the week. We are at Laguna Seca in the pouring rain tonight. I'm expecting some thrills. I'm expecting some spills. Joining me in the box is the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Damiano Turcolini, and the great and powerful Benny Hignett on the cameras. How are we tonight, gentlemen?
I am well. Good evening. Lots of rain. Qualifying just started. Looks like the people are all on their out laps. Or actually, this could be the first rolling lap for car 223 because they just crossed the line. Very wet race. From what I know, it's going to be rain all race. So it's going to be wet tyres all the way.
How good. We love a bit of rain, especially at Laguna Seca. Damo, I was doing some reading into the corkscrew this afternoon.
Oh yes,
and are you aware that it drops 18 metres in just 137 metres of track?
I can believe that. Going around that corner, it's like faith that the road is actually there.
So it's the equivalent of a 5-storey drop over that 137 metres. And what's got me excited about tonight as we watch the Mercedes of Ramez Samuel take that 5-storey drop is look at how much water is collecting in that area. This is going to be so spicy come race start, Damo.
Oh, absolutely. Corkscrew is so wet, so damp. Using the sand there to slow the car down. Not a bad strat, that one. Coming into the line. Yeah, no joke, man. It's actually, that's what I was doing. It was like leaning on the sand. As the times start coming through, we are looking at Samuel pulling sand slowed him down a bit too much. 1 second off the pace. With current pace set up, Patrick Johnson at a 127.8 and very close behind Shady Samuel in 45 thousandth.
There you go. I didn't realise that was the esports strat, but I will be taking notes, mate. Use sand trap on entry to final quarter to slow car down. I love it. As we're watching some vision here of Mr. Mike Creek in the 87 Nissan GTR as he turns through turn 6 and onto the Rahal Straight, climbing up the hill. And I was a bit early. He's now climbing up the hill for those playing at home. On the approach up to the corkscrew. It's such a tricky corner to set up. And this corner here, ladies and gentlemen, makes or breaks your entire lap. In race settings, it will make or break your entire race. I can guarantee you that each and every driver going up and over that blind crest, each and every lap of our 60-minute race tonight, won't be breathing. They'll be taking a sharp inhale of breath just before they jam on the brakes, and they won't breathe easy until they round the aptly named Rainy Curve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gritting my teeth through there. I think I grounded down some of my teeth are all flat at the back. As we got Torfik, half a second up, 1.2 seconds behind current pole. See what we can do. Going into the last turn, passing some traffic, letting him through. What's the exit like? Oh, very sweet exit. 0.7 up, 0.8, 0.8. We're going to do it. It's going to be about 0.4 off. Was that P3, I'm guessing? Yeah, P3. Wow.
Well, Damo, well done. Nailed it in one. Nailed it in one.
That was a cracking lap at 27.3. We got Shady Samuel 0.15. You're going to be 0.2 by the time we get to the corkscrew. Look at that braking.
If you have a look at Shady's previous time, he's half a second off the pace, Damo. And this isn't something that we're used to seeing from Shady Samuel. And it doesn't seem to matter the conditions, you know. Wet, dry, nighttime. It doesn't seem to matter what the race format or what the conditions have been like this season. Shady Samuel has had that Mustang at the pointy end of the field, and I wonder if we're going to see a chink in the armour tonight. I know you've got the championship standings there in front of you as he goes better, but he's still 2.5 tenths off Breno Ellis in that Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche's pretty solid here. I noticed the Fords were actually in struggle town in the wet at Laguna Seca. So anyone driving a Ford tonight is going to be in for a not so pleasant drive.
And look, it's something. Yeah, look, it's something that we're probably expecting to see. You know, look at the cars in the top 5 there. Porsche, great in mixed conditions. Bentley, aptly named the Boatley, absolutely fantastic in the wet. Ramez Samuel there in the Merc, that's a stonking lap from him. He's actually put it ahead of Shady, and then
Taufik as well.
Yeah, and then then we've got Taufik in the 711 Ferrari. Again, just a superb machine in the wet, in the mid conditions.
Patrick Johnson, he was 0.6 up going through the corkscrew, 0.4 off, passing a car that's off circuit, dropping a little bit of time. This tough corner, that one. So easy to get it wrong. It's almost like the sink corner at Suzuka.
I thought we were done with the sink, Damo. I thought we'd moved on from that, mate. As we're looking at Johnson. 4 tenths up and losing on exit here, unfortunately, but it's still going to be enough as he crosses the line to take provisional pole. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a battle on here for pole position tonight between 2 cars that, you know, leading into this race, we probably wouldn't have thought would have been battling it out for the top step on the podium.
Absolutely. Taufik's actually got a bit of a run here. It was 0.25 up, dropping a little bit of time through, what corner was that again? That was Rainy Curve, and coming in turn 10, turn 11, the last corner, 0.26 up. Got a little bit on the apex. The drive out's not too sweet, probably be about 0.2 off, so it's about 0.3, maybe 1 spot up. Crosses the line. No. Whoa, that's pretty tight.
Very tight. As we cut to Zach Warren in the 222 Porsche here. 6th overall. Doing fantastic in that silver class Porsche machine here. As we're watching on board, just over half a second up. As he is coming through the left-hand corner here onto the final straight. Maintaining that delta. Doing fantastic there. That's going to rocket him up the timing sheets. And maybe not. That'd be upsetting. Damo, I don't know about you, but if I betted my previous best lap by half a second and didn't gain a spot, I'd be very, very, very upset.
Story of my life.
I'd be very upset.
Oh, speaking of up, Piscogovas was just under 1 second up, 0.7 up. He's going to make us on a lot of positions here from P8 going up to P6. Good drive.
We've got quite a big gap there, don't we? Like, we look at the distance between P7 and P8 there, and we've got 6 tenths. So I think we're going to see that play out in the race. We've obviously got a massive time differential between some of these drivers and some of the others, and it could just be that, you know, conditions are rubbering in as we're going through this qualifying session. Drivers are getting more and more comfortable with this challenging racetrack in the wet. As we're looking with Breno Ellis, he's gained 2 tenths through the corkscrew section. He's on the run to the final corner here. Jumps on the anchors. Can he get it stopped? He can. He rotates the car nicely. Fantastic exit there. Doesn't use all the track because he doesn't need it. He's 2.5 tenths up, heading towards the line, and that will put him on provisional pole with a fastest lap of a 1 minute 27.12.
That's super fast. Super fast. 2 laps to go for Bruno Ellis to put extra time in. All the cars crossing the line now will be on their 1 more lap to go, including plus what they are on now. Johnson. Oh, also, this is going to be very, very close. It's more than close. It's fast. It is hotting up. Oh, here we go. Taufik's even getting great time. It's going to be about 0.3. Yeah, and a 0.175. Yep, track's drying out finally with all the cars circulating out there. We have 20 races tonight on the circuit, so the circuit will be drying out a little bit. So I expect the times to be last car across the line could be the... Oh, that's a limit.
Yeah, so that looked like he unfortunately went outside of track limits, and I don't know whether Breno's going to be able to get another lap time, Damo.
Yeah, he
that
should.
could be... You think?
Yeah.
Let's see.
About 2 seconds.
By about 2 seconds. God, you must be a human calculator over there, mate. You are calling all of these to the absolute decimal point. As we're watching on board with Ramez, and we've swapped to the other Samuel, in Shady, who is not having the qualifying session that I'm sure he wanted.
Oh!
Big oversteer moment and into the wall. That is an uncharacteristic error for Shady Samuel. And Ramez has taken the skiing line there. Head down the fastest part of the hill.
I think Ellis can improve. So Ellis is, he's made it by more than 2 seconds. He's made it by about 10 seconds.
Made it by a lot. So we're on here with Patrick Johnson in the pits, Sean Buscovis in the pits, Ramez Samuel in the pits, Shady Samuel in the pits. Ellis needs to find 5 100s when he crosses the line to take pole position for this race in the wet tonight. The other challenge...
more than that. He's 0.2 up.
He's 0.2 up. Let's see, the sink section of Laguna Seca is coming up as we head into the corkscrew. This is where lap times and sometimes cars go to die. As we'll watch him here, nice and tight. He makes the apex well, uses all the track on the right hand side, fires it down the hill, nice and wide, misses the apex there. Is he gonna be wide on the apex on the penultimate corner? Very wide there as well, but probably trying to stay off the curbs a little bit. Coming into the final turn, braking on the curb there, very brave. Looks like he clips the apex nicely. It's not going to be enough. He's lost all of it on exit, and that is going to have...
Warren, is there anyone who is on track to ready to improve? Can he do it? He was like 6.23. No, he's a little bit down. Oh,
2/10 up.
Great quality.
Challenging, great quality. Challenging session. This is going to be fascinating. Shady's not had the qualifying session that he was hoping for. Big shout out to Ramez in the silver class 223 Mercedes there, putting it P4 on the grid. So we'll run through very quickly your top 10. We have Johnson, Ellis, Buscovis, Ramez Samuel, Shady Samuel, Taufik, Warren, Salvaggio, Aidan Squires. Great qualifying from him. P9. Yeah, I know he hates the wet. So he's done well to put it up there. And a massive shout out to Mr. Mike Crick to round out the P10. Now, Damo, I know that you have the championship standings in your hot little hands. Can you give us a quick update on where we are?
Okay, currently after round 7 at Suzuka, we have Shady Samuel, Bruno Ellis, and Stefano Ricciuti. Sorry, mate. Points are 946, 833, and 639. Silver class, we have Gabriel Salvaggio, overall P7. In his, I don't see the car there, so we'll slide down to Tim Goby in P2 silver and Ramez Samuel, P3 silver. Their points gap is 453, 400, and 351. So still some room to battle it out there. Pro-Am, we have Pete Chalmers in P10 overall. He's on 377 points over Scott Rochford and Ben Curtis, who are on 330 and 320 points. I noticed Scott Rochford had marked himself out tonight, so Pete can extend the lead over Scott there. Sliding down to AM class, we have Brad Gosling, Bruce Miller, and Liam Braid. Brad Gosling overall P25, 161 points. Bruce Miller 105, and Liam Braid on 74.
There you go. And with a smaller field tonight, obviously with the way OOR run the Simrigs Sprint Series, whatever the total number of races is that we have for a season, only the total amount minus one round of those count. Because obviously we understand that sometimes, God, that's a good-looking BMW. We understand that sometimes life gets in the way of sim racing, so we build in a single drop round, which allows a driver to miss a round and not be overly penalised. Now, obviously, a large number of drivers have chosen to take tonight as their drop round. I can't imagine why. Something about Laguna Seca in the wet for 60 minutes.
Oh, so I think it could be just the first week of winter. Maybe that's got something to do with it.
Look, it could. Everyone's got the winter blues and they are all tucked up in their nice warm and fuzzies. But what that does present is a fantastic opportunity for those drivers that show up.
Absolutely.
Because the points for 5th are the same, whether you've got a 50-car grid or a 5-car grid. So for those that have turned up tonight, they've got a great opportunity to really bag some proper points. And you know, just looking down the order, we've got some great standouts. You know, just for some awesome qualifying results. You know, Ramez Samuel in silver class, P4, awesome. You know, Salvaggio up there in P8, in also in the silver class car. Mike Crick leading Pro-Am in P10. And you know, we've got a really nice bunch of Pro-Am cars there from 10 to 13th. So that's going to be fascinating to watch that start. And my mate Brad Gosling in the 833 Koala Atlas Motorsport BMW has put it ahead of a couple of Pro-Am drivers there. So hats off to Goz. Great qualifying session from him. And in the AM Championship battle, he's going to cream it over everyone else he's fighting tonight because he's the only AM class driver driving.
And at worst, he's going to be finishing P20 overall, and that's P20 points for whatever that is, which I had here. 30 points, so he's going to get instantly 30-point gain over everybody else just by showing up.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it does pay to just show up, especially when the conditions are challenging, the track's even tougher. Because no qualms about it. This is an old school track with old school track limits. If these drivers make a mistake in the wet tonight, there is peril waiting across every gravel trap and around every corner. The narrow layout and the elevation changes punish even the slightest errors, especially under these wet conditions. As the cars are on the grid, we're about to go green. We have Johnson from Ellis, from Boscovas, from Samuel, waiting, and they're off. I can't even see through the spray. Johnson leads from Ellis, from Boscovas, down the hill into turn 2. Ellis has shown the nose a little bit, and Boscovas has also shown the nose. Everyone filing through quite neatly. Well done, split red. That is a tricky corner to get right, especially in the spray and the wet. Shady just kind of holding station at the minute, as the timing tree has a freak out. Apologies for that one, ladies and gentlemen. But Shady is still in P5 as we round into turn 5. Very tricky corner this. They're now firing down to the blind and almost flat out turn 6. Shady looking for a bit of clear air there, clear the screen and get a bit of vision as we now make our first charge up the hill to the corkscrew. Line astern, not many position changes so far. Everyone is minding their P's and Q's. Johnson makes it through well. Ellis through well. Boscovas, Samuel, Warren, Salvaggio. Everyone looks to be making their way through the corkscrew fairly well. We haven't seen anyone put a foot out of step just yet. That was very, very well done from all the drivers.
Little yellow flag for car 98 at turn 1. Oh, that's too soon. We have a yellow flag at the second last turn. It's a dark car.
Was that 223? 223, that's Ramez.
Oh no!
Ramez has gone off.
Well, it's going to be a big fight back. One mandatory pit stop tonight as we have Zach Warren getting really racy on Stevie Samuel. So we're starting to get a bit of a pack form up behind Shady Samuel now. The leading 3 cars are starting to stretch out.
Yeah,
already.
Yeah, well, and we've definitely had a bit of a shake up there. We'll see. Cricky has lost a couple of positions to Chalmers and Viney there. Brad Gosling up 2 spots, started 18th, currently 16th. It looks like outside of Ramez, the top sort of 7 have held station and hasn't moved around too much, as we're going to get a replay here. So we are sitting on the back of Boscovas' McLaren, and massive oversteer moment there from Ramez. Once that was gone, there was no way he was holding that. And the corkscrew section and rainy curve claimed their first victim in the wet.
Yeah. That was very surprising. I'm putting that one down to cold tyres as we see Patrick Johnson in front using the dirt for a little bit of extra grip and grit around the corner so he can keep the pace up. As he's coming up to a 1 second gap over P2 from Buscavonis 2 seconds later, and Shea Samuel 1.6 further behind.
And we're 27.8 here, fastest lap for Patrick Johnson. I can't quite remember exactly what the pole time was there, but that's quite quick. He's doing, there's some quick laps. Fuel's going to be an interesting strategy tonight. We've obviously got a fixed fuel timer. So whether you put in 1 litre or 120 litres, it's going to take the exact same amount of time because we're running some magical pumps. So that's going to play into the strategy. We're going to see some people go for the massive overcut. Drive until the tank runs out, jump back in, throw a litre in it, and away we go. That's probably not going to be the most effective strategy tonight, considering that we do have a fixed fuel window. I think if it was me, Damo, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, I think we're going to see mostly a 50-50 split from the drivers tonight in terms of race time and their pit stop, with maybe a couple of laps either side just for an under or an overcut.
Yep, I think that would be the fastest strategy because you don't want to overfuel at the end because you're just wasting time with the pit stop. As Squire's also made 2 positions, didn't he qualify P9? So he's moved up to P7, all over the back of Slavaggio, really wanting to get through. And with Torfig, who had dropped a few spots, also battling Squire, so this is going to be an interesting battle pack. Another thing to consider, fastest lap, currently at 27.5, half a second slower than qualifying, so that sounds like a 50-50 split with fuel. Another one to consider is taking tyres. I noticed for me, taking tyres, when I didn't take tyres, here we go, some Porsche Cup racing where Mike Crick is watching in front of me. It's going to be interesting, this particular fight, because Porsches with excellent grip and drive out a corner versus the outright grunt of a Nissan getting out of the corners as well. So what I was going to say was the time delta for taking tyres at half distance was worth about 0.2 to 0.5 of a second. So if you've got a 5-second lead, touch and go for taking tyres.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I didn't even consider that anyone would take tyres tonight, considering it's a 60-minute race, only a mandatory stop for fuel. As we see Rob Brickley go up the inside, that's a brave place to make a move there, Brickers. Slight touch with Cricky, but they make it work. They fire down the corkscrew. Rubbing is
racing.
Awesome. And they've got an Aston sniffing in there as well. This is fantastic racing from Brickley, Cricky, and McLeod here, as McLeod throws it up the inside into the rainy curve and manages to put ahead of the Koala Atlas Motorsport Porsche there of Rob Brickley. That was fantastic driving from those three. They've done so well to keep all of those cars on the black stuff and pointing the right way. I think that's what we're going to see tonight, Damo. We're going to see some skilled driving in the wet. And we're looking here, Aiden is all over the back of Salvaggio and has been for a lap or two. He's going to be chomping at the bit to make it through here. And he's got Taufik in the 711 Ferrari, who's unfortunately lost he's lost 2 positions in the first 4 laps of this race, so he has tumbled down the tree a little bit. As we jump. Oh, we're getting a replay of this. Oh no.
That's a lot of sausage.
I was going to say, that's one thing that we haven't spoken about yet, Damo, is the absolutely deadly sausages on this racetrack.
Watch out!
Oh, no!
That was car 99833
and 833. We'll get a replay of that one, so we can see what some of that action looked like. But we've cut back to Aiden, who, quote unquote, ladies and gentlemen, hates driving in the wet. He's doing pretty handy at the minute.
He's all right. Holden Torfig, who's actually very decent driver. Oh, more replays.
All right, so we're on the rear wing of Zavaka here. Oh, And I think if we get another angle or another shot of that, Bradley's caught a bit of curb there. That painted service has just fired him straight into the boot of Igor's GTR there, unfortunately. So no doubt the stewards will be having a look at that one, and somehow I think there's an invoice coming.
I think so. Extremely difficult, that corner. Braking for the corkscrew, for the Porsche, spin the engine in the back. The front gets light, and more replays coming. Here we go.
Here we go. So we're watching here.
This is Mike.
Oh,
The curb.
Oh,
He hit the sausage. Oh, good catch. Oh, someone behind him off.
yeah. So that's Savaka off. Brickley's gone through. McLeod almost through.
Yeah, because Cricky was really close to the two Porsches in front.
Oh, and I think he's hip and shouldering Rob out of the way there. Helicam's hard to see, but that's kind of what it looked like there. And then McLeod's hung it all the way out wide, as we're now back with Aidan Squires. God, he's getting some airtime tonight. But when he's driving like this, ladies and gentlemen, can you argue with Mr. Hignan at all? He's dropped back slightly off Salvaggio, but Taufik is still hot in pursuit, as we can see. And if we can get a driver's eye cam, this will give you an idea of the challenges that these drivers are facing tonight. It doesn't...
Sorry, I was going to say, especially if the second car behind, like Taufik could be worse because he's getting two lots of spray. He won't be able to see any apexes.
Yeah,
a bit of oversteer.
Massive oversteer over there from Aidan. But with the spray that these GT3 cars flick up, with just how much downforce they're running, it becomes a war of attrition. It's not just vision, who can see where the car in front, but it's who can see their apexes, their braking markers. As we jump back for a replay of Cricky, very, very wide on the exit of the final corner. Aidan McLeod in that Aston Martin, no doubt, will get him into, this is turn one, believe it or not. We'll get him into turn one, and on the run down to turn two, forces him out wide, takes the inside line, misses the apex. Cricky slid it back up. Very respectful driving there from those two, with Rob Brickley and Ben. And they touch.
Oh no!
Oh, they touch. Oh no, that was a sad end to what was a fantastic battle. Cricky's just decided that it's a four-wheel drive GTR, and he's just going to drive around the racetrack out on the gravel. And Salvaggio's. Yeah, Salvaggio's obviously had a bit of an incident here, Damo.
Oh, yes, Brickley with the penalty. Oh, Pete, lap one for Brickley.
Oh.
Ben.
Right, so this is Salvaggio's incident. Sausage.
Oh, yep.
He ate the sausage. Oh, that's a dodgy rejoin.
Oh, it's all right. There's a car.
All right. Mate, if Aiden didn't go left hand down there, he was going to be sitting on top of that McLaren.
Yeah, the inside for the next corner. He was fine.
Yeah.
But now we'll get to find out if Slovakia was actually holding up Squires or not. Let's go, boys. Show us what you got.
Yeah, well, very, very.
Oh!
Another oversteer moment there from Aiden. He is hanging that Mustang out tonight. Brad Gosling, 15-second penalty for a collision on lap 4. We know what that one is. I would love to see a replay of the car 109 10-second penalty, because I don't think we caught that on the live stream. Doesn't look great for the Cam boys tonight. We've got 25 seconds of penalties between us, and we're only 8 laps into this race. Damo, over to you.
All right, as we are looking to watching Taufik get an excellent drive on top of Squires going through turn 1, which I've actually hit a couple of times in previous races. So yes, it is a turn. Driving down to turn 2, excellent braking zone under the corner and curving in. It's not too bad, but it needed a lot of drive mid-corner and exit to the corner. I'm saying Taufik has actually got the run on Squires here. Squires has actually been challenged. Oh, here comes our replay for car 109, lap 1. What's happened here? Coming down to turn 3, and it stuck the nose in a little bit, and a tap and a turnaround.
That was unfortunate. That was an odd one. I'd love another angle of that.
I think it's just just not slowing enough for a lap one.
Oh, ask and Benny Hignett delivers. Oh yeah, thrown.
Yep. There was room on the inside to go there. That's a really tough corner, that one in the wet. It drags you out, and you just can't turn back into strong understeery corner.
Yeah, I find Laguna Seca is like that. It's a super low grip surface. So especially into turn 2, that double apex, if you're offline there, it's akin to driving on ice, as we see Taufik all over the back of Aiden's 96 Red Bull Mustang here. As we cut to another replay, we're on board with a McLaren. Oh, that's Salvaggio's incident.
Yep. No, it's a recent one. He was not too far behind Taufik when that happened. So it would have been about 1 or 2 laps ago, if that. Yeah, that corner. Oh, yeah, you don't want to get a wheel on the curbing there when you accelerate. This really ruins your day. I'll tell you what, be interesting to watch Taufik if he's actually going to get a run in the penalty coming through for Alistair McLeod. Car number 8 on lap 6, 10 seconds. What position is Alistair? Last place at the moment. Yeah, he hit the Taufik, last corner. I think that's where he's going to try and make his move, because the Squires didn't look too comfortable there in the last couple of laps.
Well, and let's talk about passing opportunities on this racetrack, Domo, because there aren't many. You can gamble a move up the inside into turn 2. Which is the Andretti hairpin.
It comes down to traction zones and who makes a bit of a meal of it. Well, Squire's there, but had a bit of a traction zone slide, but you can recover from that. In turn 1, 2, he's got the sausage there, and he rode that sausage. That Mustang really handles the sausage curves quite well. We'll see how he goes through turn 4. You need to wait on someone to get a mistake to get a run on them. As we see here, Taufik didn't get a good run out of the last turn, going into turn 1. Squire's going deep, like they both go deep, so a bit of a sympathy there. Or that could be their natural line, because they've both taken it, being front engine and mid engine cars. So as we see through here, Taufik really much stronger at turn 3. Is it 1, 2? Yeah, turn 3 and turn 4. He looks much stronger. So he might get a run out here. There's a chance to get underneath on the left here to make a move. But again, it all comes back to your delta in pace. And then how confident the driver is coming through the sausage curve, is what you like to call it. They might back up a little bit easier or earlier, and you can get a run up the hill. And then have a Braveheart braking maneuver over the crest into the turn 8A and turn 8. Oh, turn 8 and turn 8A.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can make a move into the corkscrew, but it is at your own peril there. The other sort of overtaking zones to highlight on this racetrack are obviously turn 11, being the final corner, which we're coming up to now. You have got room there to throw it up the inside and force the outside driver off the apex. Turn 4 is also a potential candidate. And then the run up the Rahal Straight. If the other car has had a poor exit out of turn 6, there's a good chance that you'll be able to get them up the straight there. As Taufik very, very closely misses the bumper of Aiden Squires there. And he's run very wide, which has dropped him off the back of it slightly. Looking down the timing tree, Ramesh Samuel, making his climb out of purgatory from lap 1, is currently 2/10 off the back of Mr. Curtis in his number 83 Ford Mustang there, and Ramesh will be chomping at the bit to get past here. He had a moment all on his own on lap 1, and from a
turn 10, I believe it was.
Yeah, correct. A fantastic qualifying result, as Curtis has run it wide there. He's given Ramesh a run into turn 6. This is a very, very brave place to make a move. Ramesh thinks about it and then thinks better of it. Curtis taking lots of sausage. Watch the Mercedes power up the hill. driven past Curtis, move done before we enter the braking zone, and then he'll tip it down to the left and then down to the right through the corkscrew. And the 223 Mercedes is going to have the 109 Porsche clear in his sights for the next 42 minutes.
Yep, I think Curtis did a little lift there to make sure there was no danger going into the corkscrew. It's smart driving there. Better to lose one spot than end up backwards in the wall. As we see Torfik all over the back of Squire still. He's relentless.
As a fellow Ferrari driver, this scenario makes me sad because I know exactly where Taufik is at. He's like, I'm quicker than him through the corners. He is holding me up something chronic on anything that isn't a straight bit of tarmac. And then, if we watch on board here, we jump onto a straight bigger tarmac, and that Ford Mustang, with its bloody Coyote V8 in the front, just drives away. It somehow finds warp gear and just drives away. It's one of the most frustrating things about driving the Ferrari. Yes, the car is fantastically balanced. It goes through the corners beautifully. It's got a brilliant top speed, as Aiden is very, very wide there, but putting that Mustang in all the right parts of the racetrack to not let Taufik through. But Taufik can't find
Here we go.
it.
Is it going to have a look? Oh, could have, if he had been a bit closer, time for a dive, but not quite.
So he's... Yeah, look, we hit an exit and away goes the Mustang. We go through some corners and Taufik is all over the rear wing of that thing. Look at the difference in braking performance here. Taufik closes that gap beautifully, balances the car through the double apex, fires out the other side, Mustang drives away. And we've only, with a big moment there, with a fixed fuel timer on the pit stop tonight as well. It's going to be harder to get people on strategy through the pits, as Taufik takes quite a bit of gravel there for good measure.
Yeah, he'll be back.
He'll definitely be back.
He's definitely be back. If you see Chalmers, Salvaggio has slipped down another spot where Chalmers has got through, but Salvaggio fighting... Oh, that's right, Salvaggio went off in turn 10, so fighting way back through. So it wasn't for an overtake of Chalmers over Salvaggio. It was Salvaggio chasing down Chalmers to make his position back.
There you go. So we're currently at a third race distance. Johnson, Ellis, Buscovas, no change. Shady Samuel up 1 spot. Zach Warren up 2. Aiden Squires up 3. Taufik down 1. Chalmers up 3. Salvaggio down 1. Viney up 3. Brickley up 1. Ramez Samuel down 8, but climbing. Benny Curtis in the 83 Mustang up 6 spots. That is a fantastic drive so far. Blake Griffiths in the number 64 Lambo up 2. Ryan Anderson even par. Ivor Zavaka up 1. Ning Chan up 3. Mike
Chalmers gone deep.
Whoa,
Sorry.
he's gone very deep.
Managed to fight off. Chalmers, excellent defending. Oh, that's so close. Was that net code touch there? That looked very close from Salvaggio on Chalmers going through turn 3.
Very, very close. Just to finish that up, Mike Crick down 7, Ning Chan up 2, Brad Gosling down 1, and McLeod down 6. So they are the winners and losers of the first third of this race, as we'll jump back onto the live vision of Salvaggio.
Salvaggio's had a move. It slid again. Oh, he kept it. Wow, good save. His car was sideways entering turn 6. That was well kept.
And again, just menacing all over the back of Chalmers, just trying to fill the driver's mirrors, keep him guessing, and most importantly, keep him looking in his mirrors and not looking at the racetrack. Because if there's anything that's going to cost lap time, it's looking where you've been, not where you're going.
Oh, yes, and defending no air, or empty air. And before as well, we've already had some pit stops come through. We have P17, Mike Crick, and 19 and P19, P20, Gosling and McLeod have made their pit stops. So we'll see how those guys finish at the end. So if they've got clear air in front of them, they can make some good time.
I think those pit stops will more be based on situation than strategy somehow, Damo. Obviously, we know Goz had that incident, so no doubt picked up some damage and a 15-second penalty to boot. McLeod had an incident, no doubt picked up some damage and his penalty, and then Cricky had a few off-track adventures as well. So I wonder if these early pit stops have just been to try and clear some penalties, fix some damage, and then get back on the road and hopefully find some clear air to take them to the end of the race.
Could well be. We'll find out how everyone else goes for it. I'm just keep thinking about the Squires Torfik battle as we switch over to it. I think one thing that would be good for Torfik to do is he's close and faster to Squires. So if he looks after his tyres, or as we can see, Squires is absolutely using his wets. The wets do deteriorate. Oh no! Early pit stop at Torfik. There we go. No saving tyres now. Now will he stop and get new tyres and go fast? Oh geez, he nearly lost it there. You can do a U-turn in the pit entry. I've seen it happen in my race last night. Unfortunately, one of my competitors did a U-turn following me in the pits. So we'll see how Torfik and Squires finish their pit stop rotation. And hopefully Torfik doesn't get caught behind someone else. As we're seeing Wing Chang also going to the pits. Oh, that's close. Savaggio.
Oh, that Porsche almost had a McLaren there for a rear badge.
Oh, that's a squeaky butt moment, wasn't it?
Definitely a squeaky butt moment. But what a smart move from Taufik. He's been tucked up behind the back of Aiden there for a number of laps, unable to find a way through. So goes, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to go and get myself. I'm going to go and clear my mandatory pit stop. It's only an extra 5 seconds for tyres on top of the mandatory fuel window. So for someone like Taufik, if he's out in clear air now, which I'm just having a look at the track map, and it appears that he is, if he's taken a fresh set of boots, he's going to be dangerous. I'd love to see what his outlap and his consecutive lap are, because he's going to be flying and looking for the undercut on Aiden Squires in the Red Bull Ampol machine here, who's decided to go for another lap.
I think Squires going a little bit longer, and this also fits in with your 50% race plus or minus a couple of laps. As Salvaggio pits as well, listening to your excellent strategy. We'll see how that plays out against Chalmers. Here we go, 2 minutes 13 for Mohit Porfik's. 2 minutes 13. That's his second lap. Second lap, first lap.
No, that's got to be his outlap. We'll watch for the next lap. His fastest lap of the race so far is a 28.3. So we'll keep a very, very keen eye on this one as he comes through the rainy curve, through turn 10, into turn 11, the hairpin, touches the apex nicely. Fantastic exit. He should be on for a good lap here if he's not made any mistakes anywhere else.
And a 133. Yeah, that's a very fast outlap. So yeah, first lap was 2:13 was the inlap, 1:33 was the outlap. That's flying. He is on it. If he took tyres, he's 5 seconds behind, more further behind, and that's probably a second lap potentially delta. So he needs a good couple of laps to Squires to make a pit. Otherwise, he's going to get caught behind again. We shall see. As the gap's at the front, Patrick Johnson maintaining 1.3 second gap over Bruno Ellis. Whoa, what's it? Oh, it's a blue flag. Oh, pardon mouth. And we'll just change that to 1 second. Ellis is putting the power down using the bit of high-speed braking there from the sand.
And we've lost a driver. We're down to 19 runners.
Ooh,
so I'm not 100% sure who's called it quits there. While I was doing or a DC. Hey, Damo, while I was doing my research tonight, do you want to hear probably the most ironic bit of information I found?
There is irony. Do tell. I am all ears.
So, Laguna Seca means dry lagoon in Spanish. There is nothing dry about this racetrack tonight.
Absolutely not.
Oh, but I thought that was gold. I was like, oh, Dry Lagoon, not tonight, sir, not tonight.
I was also following up how much rain can happen at Laguna Seca in the area. It's a coastal area, so there is a bit of rain about, and there are on average 68 rainy days per year, so not unusual. And the circuit gets per annum about 5 meters. No, 5 meters, half a meter of rain, 500 millimeters of rain per year. So it's still pretty
Jeez.
dry.
I was
But
going to say 5 meters of rain a year. That's a lot of rain.
it's tropical, right? This is not tropical. But yeah, it's a very interesting microclimate. Can I go with the daily track temperature variations?
Or if you'd like, I feel like you're going to anyway, whether me or the viewers.
So, I'm going to make you guess. What on a typical day? This is in one day. A cold temperature. What would a cold temperature be?
6 degrees.
Yeah, it's 15, but that's a good call. All right.
Okay.
And then peak temperature for the track. So I should have left the track. So 16 degrees track temperature and peaks. What do you think it will peak at on the same day?
The same. What season are we, Damo?
Let's just say random. Oh, here we go.
34 degrees as Patrick Johnson comes in to serve his mandatory pit stop.
I'm butchering my stat here. This is great. As you see, Bruno Ellis continuing around, pulling a 27.6 and a 27.6 again. Very consistent laps, only 0.3 off his best lap of the race. So, Bruno Ellis, we'll add in. Oh no, don't take that. I don't want to do it for anyone who's only just listening to us.
Now, I tell you what, this is going to be interesting now. Ellis is obviously he's decided on the overcut. He hasn't followed Johnson into the pits here. He's decided to offset his strategy, which is the most sane move. The most insane thing you can do is to be following the car that you've been stuck behind for 20 laps into the pits to then be stuck behind them for another 20 laps. Is there enough juice? I mean, wet tyres last a long time, and I don't think that Johnson took tyres. He wasn't stationary for what felt like 30 seconds there. So can Ellis drive some laps now that are going to put him ahead of Johnson when he decides to exit, to jump into the pits? That was some nice driving there from the 109 car of Rob Brickley, looking after the net race leader there in Mr. Johnson, deciding not to fight that position too hard as he exited the pits.
Squire still leading. Anyhow, to quickly finish off what I was going to say before, it's a 30-degree temperature difference in a day on the track. Yeah, so crazy stuff.
Yeah, very, very big difference there.
And another topical thing. We were chatting about this earlier. Like, who designed the circuit and who made it? That one really blew my mind. Did you want to lead on with that one?
No, you go for it. I mean, I know the answer, but I'm not going to spoil it for the viewers. So away you go, mate. It's your fun fact. So you have at it.
This absolutely blew my mind. It was the U.S. Army Engineering Corps who designed the circuit with local races, and they built it as well. So yeah, so the circuit design, U.S. Army.
There you go. And that was a fun fact that I didn't think. It blew me away. Who would have thought that the US Army would have designed a racetrack? As we're looking at Stan Buscover's currently sitting in P2, 8 seconds off the back of Breno Ellis. As we get a USA from Benny Higgett there on the cameras. And ladies and gentlemen, can I get a digital round of applause for Mr. Benny Higgett? He's the unsung hero of our broadcast each and every week. Fantastic camera angles. He's right there on top of everything. And we don't get to hear his beautiful voice. We don't get to see his beautiful face. I'll just get a digital round of applause here, everybody, for Benny Higgett. As chat's popping off a little bit. Looking at the undercut for Taufik, which we were talking about earlier. So Taufik currently up into 13th, 9.2 seconds off the back of Blake Griffiths. Aiden Squires still yet to pit, but he is definitely in clear air here. So, you know, with a 10-second gap to the car in front, Taufik's going to be making the most of that Ferrari here in the mixed conditions, especially if he decided to take fresh rubber. That car will absolutely be on rails. So we're going to have to see how that one plays out. Aiden Squires and quite a lot of the drivers going deep here, far deeper than I would have expected for a fixed fuel time race, Damo.
Yeah, you're not going to get the advantage of the lighter weight of the fuel. To be fair, it is raining, and having an extra light car, you can't maximise the delta in the fuel weight savings. And also, part of it is also burning your tyres through the corners with the extra weight. Oh, as we see Savaggio in the background going. Oh, was that Savaggio? Yeah. No, that was Buscavovis in the background. No, probably was Savaggio. And yeah, two more pitters. We have Buscavovis and Shady Samuel pitting. They heard your call for more pit stops, and we have a replay of the previous leader. What's happening? Bit slidey, bit sideways.
Oh,
bit
very sideways.
I'd say didn't take tyres.
Yeah, he took a lot of curb on entry there though too. So that's going to upset that car.
Yeah, also got Warren in the pits from P5. I think overall he was P6, and we still got Ellison Squires out front. No pit stops as yet.
There you go. So five cars currently in the pit lane. So with 25 racing minutes left to go, we are seeing a whole host of these drivers come in and take their mandatory stops. I'm fascinated to see where this shakes out. It seems like the guys that are currently playing a race engineer for Taufik have been coaching him on this one. They're the ones that instructed him to go onto this undercut. And he apparently, according to Gorilla Snapper in chat, he is 4/10 a lap faster than Aiden Squires each and every lap. So we'll see how this one shakes out after our pit stops.
Yeah. We had a snippet before of our previous leader who had done a 29.3. So a bit of a slow lap, that one. That was, his name escapes me. It was the Bentley, Patrick Johnson. Yeah, it was a bit slow on that last lap at that slide.
Whoa! As a bit of lap traffic gets involved there with Blake Griffith tucked up behind, just getting overtaken by Zach Warren in the 222 Porsche there. As we'll see them run up the hill and into the corkscrew. This is just, an absolutely terrifying bit of racetrack even in the dry. So these drivers are doing fantastic to handle it in the wet. And we've seen, and I don't want to curse it, and I've got a hell of a curse on me. But we've seen far less incidents here than I was imagining there, Damo.
Oh, really? Oh, because I didn't finish that auction to get rid of your race commentating curses to another split.
No.
We'll give it another lap and see how many yellow flags appear.
There you go. As we see, is that Blake Griffith diving into the pits? It sure is. I wonder if the race engineers that are sitting behind some of these drivers tonight have any code words to help tell them to go into the pits or not, Damo?
Probably something along the lines of in. Because they'll be on TeamSpeak, I'd say, and then they'll be like a closed channel if they have their own TeamSpeak. I've also heard that other people have. You can use the Discord, the client, and Discord in the webpage, and you can have two Discords in that way with the same account. So we see Ellis going deeper into the race, and we also know that Pete Chalmers also likes to go deep, and compatriot teammate Viney as well. Also going, those two drivers definitely do like going deeper into the circuit. Aiden Squire still hanging out there, keeping the tyres rolling, keeping them safe. Hopefully, we'll see how it works out with Taufik, who is now only 3.6 seconds behind Zach Warren. which is quite interesting because Seca wasn't that far ahead before the pit stops, and there's a bit of a time drop from Taufik there, so I'm guessing he may have taken tyres.
I think that'd really play into his hand if he has taken tyres, especially with trying to play that undercut. Having the added benefit of fresh rubber there is going to pay dividends in the back end of this race here.
Hugely. His time for his last lap to his best lap was only 0.3. I'm guessing has taken tyres. Pete's also running very well as well. 28.6 versus 28.7, so very consistent times there. Very consistent. Oh, Ellis is in the pits.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Current race leader is in. Squires is tucked up behind Braz Gosling as blue flag traffic, who jumps out of the way. I wonder if
we need to look at Patrick Johnson, car 50. That was the challenging those two drivers. Here we go. See, 28.7. He dropped half a second that lap. He's also behind Viney. He's caught up. So this could be... Is he moving? He's moving.
Ellis is leaving the pits here.
Yeah, he's got it easy. Yeah, he's through. He's going to have about a 5-second lead or more.
Well, I wonder... I was going to say, I wonder if Ellis didn't take tyres.
Possibly, not being able to get a pass done. We'll find out soon. What's the gap? It's like about 5 or 6 second gap, but he's caught behind a very fast driving. He's looking for a move here.
Throws it up the inside. Fantastic move. They keep it nice and clean across the apex there, and the Bentley rounds the corner in the lead there. Great driving from both drivers there. Obviously, Pete Viney not having stopped yet, and we're looking at an 8.5 second gap from Johnson to Ellis here. So the race has kind of turned on its head a little bit here, Damo.
Absolutely.
We'll have to see. I don't think Breno took tyres.
I'm leaning to that as well.
So he's put those tyres through a heat cycle and then sat in the pits for 25 seconds and let them cool down. And he will currently be driving on lukewarm bits of rubber. Meanwhile, Johnson is on tyres that are up to racing speed there. And Ellis is currently 1.3 seconds off the back of Chalmers, who is yet to stop. So this is not a blue flag situation. This is a battle for position. We'll keep an eye on that 8. So it's currently an 8.7 second gap from Breno back to Johnson. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if the Bentley's able to make inroads here. 0.3 of a second while I've been flapping my gums. So I think, this is going to go down to the wire here if that gap continues to close like I think it will.
Yeah, and the lap time from Bruno just now was 0.6 seconds slower than his previous, and then what Taufik had done on his first out lap. But that could have been account for if Chalmers being in front as the two Porsches go, tried to have a bit of a move. There's no move there. A lot of pressure on Pete. I don't think he'll get past him anytime soon if he doesn't want to. He's going to rely on a mistake. That's the only way I can see it happening through here.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's one of those racetracks where the mistake often allows the overtake as opposed to just a massive speed differential. So, and the 78 Porsche here is of no obligation to jump out of the way. And Chalmers he's a wily old campaigner. He is putting that Porsche in all the right spots. I'm not 100% sure of the team hookups currently at play here, as Aiden Squires is in the pits, so we'll see where he comes out and whether he's going to jump ahead of Taufik in the 711 machine there as he comes through the corkscrew to negotiate the final 2 corners of this racetrack. Breno thinks about a move. He just shows the nose there, forces Chalmers off the apex, and I think you'd get a bit of paper between those two, and that's about it. And they're going to go side by side into turn 4. This is some brilliant racing as they make the charge down through the kink into turn 5. This is a diabolical corner in the dry, let alone in the wet, when you're battling for position. And again, Chalmers putting that car in all the right spots. That has to be the widest Porsche on the racetrack right now. They go through turn 6, both of them clean. Breno using a bit more of the track on exit there than Chalmers, but it didn't serve him well with that gap lengthening a little bit. Thinks about a move into the corkscrew and thinks better of it and decides to stay tucked up. Here we go. He's thrown it up the inside into the rainy curve. Nothing doing there. Can he make a move into turn 10? He's probably a bit far back. So we'll be keeping a keen eye on the braking zone of turn 11. If it's going to happen, this is where it's going to happen.
Defending.
Viney very, very defensive there. Great defensive move from Chalmers. And we resume battle. So we're now going to have a look at Taufik and Aiden Squires, and he's jumped him by 6.3 seconds. Wow.
Oh, and it looks like we've got our first track limit drive-through for McLeod and Navcana 8 and P19.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the track limits can be pretty nasty here. There's a few sort of choice spots where it's pretty easy to go over them. You know, turn 6 is one. The corkscrew is probably the other for me, that I often find that they're the two where I'm getting track limits. And Chalmers still yet to pit. Breno less than 3/10 tucked off behind him. But what is going to come into play here currently is that Chalmers is going to start to get held up. He's coming right up onto the back of Rob Brickley in the 109 machine there. So this will be a blue flag scenario.
Yep, there it is. Right on cue.
The blue. Yeah, that was well done. We can see the blue flags waving here. So, but navigating lap traffic, regardless of a blue flag or not, is always tricky, and it always costs you a little bit of time. So Breno shows the nose there, trying to force an error out of Chalmers here, and it looks like he's got a run on him here.
It got a little bit balked by the blue flag in front, but I think.
Oh, and Chalmers. Chalmers, that's a 300 IQ move. He's just parked poor Ellis into the back of Brickley there. Ellis has got it done under braking. Chalmers has gone for the switchback, ladies and gentlemen, and racing is resumed. Racing is resumed. We are back to our status quo, and we have Chalmers from Ellis for the lead of this race.
And as while that's all happening, Patrick Johnson closing down to 6 seconds now, 6.2. So
that was 8.7, so that's come down considerably.
About a second a lap. With 14 minutes to go, that's probably about, let's say 12 laps, 11 laps to go.
Well, Breno's being held up here, something chronic. So his last lap was at 29 dead. His fastest lap of the race is a 27.3, as Patrick Johnson just sets the purple lap of the race with a 27.2. So he is on an absolute charge. He's just taken he's now 5.9 seconds off the back of the number 17 Porsche. So this is playing brilliantly.
Oh, here we go. And that's
all right. Chalmers is into the pits. Breno Ellis released. The gap between Ellis and Johnson, 5.9 seconds with 13 and a bit minutes to go. This one's going to go down to the wire, and somehow Johnson's just lost 3/10. I'm sure that's not the difference of Ellis getting into clean air.
No, the timing I found for the tower for the first sector is just completely wrong. Yeah, it'll fluctuate like about 4 or 5 seconds. Really throws you out if you've got a tight strategy run. So I don't look at the timing strategy till or tower until after turn 4 and last turn, and that's when I stop looking at it. That's where it's reliable.
There you go. It's been a little while since I've raced around here, and I definitely don't get as deep into the timing chart conspiracy as you do there, Davo.
Probably it was critical because I was only 6 seconds ahead of the car in front, and I was debating whether to take tyres or not, and I decided not to maintain track position. So I was paying a lot of attention to it.
There you go. I was about to say it's probably a product of me being nowhere near fast enough for it to really matter.
doesn't matter how fast you are, you're always going to have people driving close with you, and there'll always be good racing in OOR. So come and join us in OOR. It's a good segue. We have the Academy Series. If you're new to sim racing and don't know how to go about it, come join us in our Academy Series. We have people of like minds just starting out, and mistakes will happen. That's okay, because that's how you learn. And when you feel confident enough, you can move up to sprints. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be willing to drive around other people in a friendly, fast fashion.
There you go. And look, while we're doing shameless plugs, don't forget, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. Look, let's be honest. A lot of the people watching right now have raced in one of the 3 splits already that have happened this week. So, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We all want nothing more than to see this league grow and go from strength to strength. And also, I've just decided that all of us commentators are going to have a bit of a competition to see who's the most exciting commentary pair out of the 4. So jump on that like button, guys. Let everyone know that you like listening to the Samo and Damo show more than you do the other three guys that I won't say anything mean about. As we're looking at Ramez, who has he's been on this charge all race. He's currently 4/10 off the back of Salvaggio. Now, this has come up in commentary before, Damo, but Salvaggio is not the easiest car to pass on this racetrack. He will fight you tooth and nail for absolutely every centimetre of tarmac. So Ramez has got his work cut out to get around the McLaren. Obviously, catching is one thing and passing is another. So I'm keen to see this battle play out. We've got 10 minutes left in this race, 33 laps down so far. So I wonder if Ramez is going to be able to make this move stick somewhere.
I'm going to throw it out there as well. We have Savaka, who has not pitted yet, only 1.5 seconds in front, and these guys are closing in.
Yeah, these guys have been closing at a rapid rate of knots on that GDR. You would have thought. So I'm just having a look. Salvaggio's last lap was a 29.1. Zavaka's was a 31, and Samuel's was a 29 dead. So those 2 cars are definitely closing at a great rate of knots onto the back of that GDR there.
Just a message in YouTube chat. Yeah, Jay Crook. Yeah, can I join race? Yes, you absolutely can join a race. Head to OOR.com. Actually, don't have the URL. You might have to help me out there, Sam. You mentioned it earlier.
You keep talking, and I shall find it.
And sign up there. Actually, it'll be in the link for the video that we have here. So go to OOR. Yeah, there is Octane Online Racing.com. Thank you, Race Control. Always listening, always aware. And join the community. We are in Discord. Again, just follow through on the YouTube site. Get the link there and sign up for one of our Academy Leagues, and we'll take you away from there and bring you into some racing. The racing at the Academies is weekly. I think currently it's Tuesday nights. And,
as Damo was saying there, the best thing that you can do, Mr. Crook, is you're on console, okay? So I don't know if I don't think it's cross-platform, and we don't currently have any console racing going on. But you know, one of the best things you could do, hey, get involved with the community anyway. I'm about to post the Discord invite link.
There's a move. There's Savaccio and Ramez Samuel gave a little get together at the last turn as Savaka had a pit entrance and pretty upset the rhythm there a little bit. That was a bit of an exciting move.
No, hey mate, cut me off for an exciting move all night. I have no dramas with that at all.
Sorry, we're just cutting back to the racing there, mate. Yes.
Call it, mate.
Our ACC championships that we run are all on PC only. I think I cannot confirm or deny, but please go to our website and check it out from there.
What I did do while all of that exciting racing was going on is drop the Discord invite link into chat. So if that sent and didn't get buried or what's the word? Censored, then it'll be right there. Jump on board, join the community, come on board, have some fun, get into some sim racing. A big shout out to Simrigs.com.au. I can personally testify that their retail experience is fantastic. I very recently purchased a new wheelbase and wheel through them. Not only was the price fantastic, the shipping was quick. The updates I was getting were great, and hey, they managed to get me my new wheel and wheelbase for 4-hour Coda 24 hours, so hats off to them. As Ramez is in front of Salvaggio here. Salvaggio doing everything he can to try and retake that position. They're through turn 1. We'll look at the move down to if there's a move down into turn 2. Salvaggio showing the nose a little bit. He's underneath Ramez there, but does not have the drive to get him on exit. The Mercedes there, fantastic power on exit. Salvaggio is underneath here. They've managed not to touch through turn 3 into turn 4, and Ramez is still in front here. But Salvaggio looking like the racier of the cars here as we head through the kink and into the formidable turn 5. And the McLaren has dropped off the back of the Mercedes slightly.
Look, I have news. Patrick Johnson, Buskovovas, 1.7 seconds. It's closed the gap by 2 seconds in the last 3 laps.
There you go. And having a look at that Ellis-Johnson gap, that's come back out to 8.5 seconds since Ellis has been in clear air. So that hasn't, that hasn't quite played out how we thought it might. But nevertheless, fantastic racing from all drivers involved.
I'm calling it. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say Johnson didn't take tyres, Buskovovas did, and Ellis probably did. We're toing and froing on the Ellis one, but I'm leading with that.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell from where we're sitting. I wish there was some sort of indicator that we got to say whether someone took tyres or not, as we're into the final 5.5 minutes of this race. So outside of anything catastrophic happening, P1 and 2 are... Well, P1 is, you'd think, is set. P2 is still up for grabs with Buskovas 1.8 seconds off the back of Johnson in the number 50 Bentley machine there. As I also cruise down the timing sheets, the battle for P8, Salvaggio has dropped 1.3 seconds off the back of Ramez there, and he's also got Chalmers 1.8 seconds off the back of him. Benny Curtis in the number 83 Ford machine, currently 1.4 seconds off the back of Mr. Crick in the 87 Nissan GTR.
Shout out to Mike. He was well down, had a bit of a rough moment, took an early pit stop, which I reckon was probably before he wanted to go. Bit of a gap between himself and Viney, but drove himself back into P12 after qualifying P10. So I'm going to put a little mark against Mike for driver of the day. Currently, there's a few points I'm moving around in my head, and we'll find out how we get at the end of the race. As we still go, I think we've got about 4 laps to go.
You are a human calculator if you're doing driver of the day calculations in your head. That is far more complex than any thought that's gone through my little brain tonight. Let me give you the tip. And just looking at this, do you know who has not made an impact tonight, Damo?
Who's that?
It's Mr. Shady Samuel. It is our championship leader.
Indeed.
That number 5 Mustang he just hasn't been able to answer the call tonight. He's gained 1 position, started 5th, currently sitting 4th, and that happened on lap 1 from when his brother Ramez had a moment all by himself, and that's been Shady's race.
28.1 for the last lap. 28.3 now. Whoa, 1 second off.
Yeah, struggling for pace and getting worse. Currently doesn't hold the purple lap. Whatever it is, but in this combination of the Mustang and Laguna Seca, it's just not worked out for Shady. You'd probably say the opposite for Aiden. Aiden had a great qualifying, a good race start. He's had some fantastic battles throughout the race, and overall, I mean, look, he's up 2 spots. you can't argue with that for an hour in the wet at Laguna.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say it again. It's like the Ford and the wet and Laguna Seca are not a match.
Well, maybe Aiden needs to take I hate driving in the wet out of his
look at that. Sorry.
out of his
on the
Tinder
screen.
bio.
Corkscrew. I've never seen that before. That is.
Oh, that's
awesome. Is that an overlay or was that the actual thing? Race control. I'm going to need some. Did she
Who
put
knows?
that there? Did he put
Who
it
knows?
there?
No.
No. Oh, that's brilliant.
I think Aiden needs to take I hate driving in the wet out of his Tinder bio after his performance tonight. Up 2 spots, and up 2 spots on consistency more than anything. He's got drivers behind him that a number of drivers behind him that have set their fastest laps are quicker than his. But he's kept his nose clean. He's driven a fantastic race. So hats off to Aiden and the big corkscrew side.
Yeah. I think another driver I'm really looking at as well is Zach Warren. Driving very well. P5. Respectable lap times. Keeping it close. Got Torfig chasing down. We'll see how that works out. He was about 10 seconds or so behind Shady Samuel in front. So good drive by the silver driver. P5 outright. Well done.
Yeah, fantastic. Up a couple of spots there. And, you know, he's someone that we haven't really spoken about tonight. And that's always evidence that you've had a clean race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Clean race, consistent times, stay out of trouble. Yeah, you're going to get a result. Don't get on stream, which is a bit sad because, you know, your vanity gets a bit of a... doesn't get a pick-me-up. Oh, we have a replay. The Aston Martin.
This is McLeod and the number 8 Aston.
Oh, that's a cut. And a loop.
Oh, no. Wow. Breno's done well to stick... to not put into the side of that Aston there.
And missed the wall. I didn't see the car bump off the wall. Oh, there was a spin at last turn. McLeod. Was that a pit entry spin?
Oh, I'm not sure because...
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't. Wow.
Plenty of room.
Oh, I don't know about that. That was scary. Here we are for a replay. So this is...
Wow.
Oh, Johnson's only just snuck past.
I saw, yeah.
Oh, my word. That was scary.
Yep. It's the wall.
Someone give us the Austin Powers music as he makes that 15-point turn there to get pointed back the right way.
Well, Buscavos is slow. What happened there? He did a 32 last lap. Where was that? Is he? Oh, it's the end of the race. The time is 0.
There you go. So we're currently on the final lap. We have Ellis, who is 12 seconds from Johnson, who's 5.3 seconds from Samuel. Waiting for the timing screen to update for the gap back to Buscovas, which is 8.7 seconds. We then got 11 seconds back to Warren. So the field spread has been quite dramatic tonight. It's been a war of attrition.
Leaders cross the line, and Buscovas probably potentially out of fuel as we have a P2 coming through and finishing.
So that's a huge result for Ellis there in the championship. You know, he's put 2 positions on Shady there as we cut to a replay here, and that is if the spun car, Buscovas and Shady bolting to the line.
Yep, this is on that previous lap.
Right, so I'm thinking Buscovas thought that maybe the race had finished prematurely there.
No. But he also dropped time to Warren and Torfik as more cars cross the line. So we have Ellis, Johnson, Samuel, Warren, Torfik, Buscovas and Squires crossing the line. P8, Remez Samuel coming through now. I reckon he could be out of fuel for Buscovas. We'll find out post-race. So it's Remez Samuel coming through. Chalmers and Savaljo yet to come through. Those guys are pretty close. And then Viney.
There you go.
The track.
Massive drift from Igor. Probably not as big as the one that we saw from him during the race, but almost as good nevertheless. Exciting race, Damo. excited.
Oh.
You know, not
It was a lot to
Not-
play for.
not the action packed blockbuster. Jesus, say that 12 times quickly. That we had last week, but tonight was a war of attrition. Tonight took skill. Tonight took calm and patience and a bit of thought on strategy. That was thoroughly enjoyable. Split Red showing us once and again why they are the premier split in OOR, putting on a fantastic show for us. Damo, take us through the final classification, please.
Okay, so we have Ellis over Johnson over Samuel for P123, and as we slip to silver, we have Warren Samuel and Ramez Samuel and Slavaggio taking our silver class. Pro-Ams, we have Pete Chalmers, Finey, and Mike Crick pulling a P3 in Pro-Am. Well done, mate. Am class, Gosling has
Go,
taken
Brad!
it.
Go, Brad!
You've got to show up to win it, baby. You enjoy that champagne and that trophy. Well deserved. What a
Driver
race.
of the day, Damo. Driver of the day. Who you got?
I'm going to say Warren. He made a few spots, kept it clean, led his class, and was amongst all the pros at the end.
Fair call.
And you?
I'm going to take Ramez for that recovery drive. He was last at the end of lap 1 and drove a fantastic recovery, kept his head, kept his nose clean. So I'm going to go with Ramez for my driver of the day there.
Yep. Got a top 10 out of it. Yeah, good result. Oh.
That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been Split Red. It has been Laguna Seca in the wet. And it has been round 8 of the Octane Online Racing Simrigs Sprint Series for the week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Let's continue to build this fantastic community that we're all a part of. And we will see you all next week for some more bloody good racing.
And next week we're at the Red Bull Ring, so very fast circuit. It's going to be epic. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later.